This is Robbie Eagles.
This is the loosest in Australian wrestling, Adam Brooks.
Hi, this is Mimic. This is 5-time the world's heavyweight champion, the Scrap Daddy himself, Scrap Iron Adam Pierce.
This is Brian Alvarez, and you are listening to Wrestlebrainia Australia.
Welcome to the show, folks. My name is Josh Armour, and thanks very much for downloading Wrestlebrainia Australia. This is our first episode.
Oh, yeah!
G'day, this is Big Brody Marshall.
This is Brian Alvarez.
This is Dean Brady of the Millennials.
This is the Jurassic Punk Sid Parker.
How many of you guys have heard the term kayfabe?
Hello, doggers. This is Jay Hunter from OSW Review.
This is Matt Grim Basso.
This is the loosest in Australian wrestling, Adam Brooks.
This is Scrap Iron Adam Pierce, and you are locked in
to Wrestlebrainia Australia.
I in the game, I'm champion, I'm Triple H. Undertaker, I'm your maker, bury the brother like Kane. Ooh, 1-3, hit the tombstone, hit the choke slam on face. Ooh, yeah, like a macho heel, turn like a muscle. If you suffer like tomatoes, I'ma keep a couple models. Ooh, and you may call me HBK. When I'm tuning up the band, you best be getting in my way. Ooh, yeah, I'm degenerate, I love it, yes, I love it. If you wait down with that, then I got two is what you suck it. Too sweet, put your fangs up. Too sweet, hold another cup. Let's be busy, 23, got me feeling way too sweet.
Hey guys, Tony Schiavone here, making chicken salad. That's sure gonna put some butts in seats.
Here I was, blaming AEW for feeding you chicken shit, knowing you mindless millennials would be eating it up as if it were chicken salad, when it's really been your fault all along.
Make chicken salad out of chicken shit. People is as people does, that's all there is to it. But a square peg in a round hole just never seems to fit.
This is Bianca Belair.
Hey, this is Kevin Owens.
Hey, it's Seth freaking Rollins.
It is the man, Becky Lynch.
It's Rhea Ripley here, and you're listening to Wrestlebrainia Australia.
Welcome to Wrestlebrainia Australia, Australia's longest running pro wrestling podcast. We're here with one of our favourites, Jessica Troy.
Hi everyone.
Jess, always good to talk to you.
Always.
You had an awesome match last night on the card.
Thank you.
What's it like to be able to be on a card with such big name international talent?
Oh, not just even be on the card, but to get to have a match with someone like Tennille, who I feel was one of the main people to really break through into the main scene overseas in America, right? One of the main Australians, and then her to come back here and I'm the one she gets to wrestle. Just awesome. Such a cool experience. Seeing someone I've watched on TV, now I'm in the ring with her. Just, yeah, surreal.
And how do you feel like moving forward? Like, what goals are left for you if you're getting these big matches on these stages?
My goal is to just keep having fun in wrestling and just having a good time, basically. Which I had a great time this whole weekend, so I'm a pretty big high right now.
Yeah, the Starrcast has been huge so far. Lots of big names. Is there anyone that you've been particularly excited to meet?
Yeah, we just met the Great Khali backstage and we got a photo, so that was pretty sick. That was amazing. Yeah, we all ran. we saw him come in because obviously how could you miss him come in? And we're like, let's go. So yeah,
absolutely.
and like having Mickie James backstage as well. That's just pretty cool because obviously loved her growing up. I did the whole flared pants just like her, so that was pretty amazing as well.
Yeah, and that was something I was going to ask, is being on a card like her where you've got these international talents coming through, and you're in a spot that was quite heavily showcased. You know, you're going on after people like, you know, the former Alicia Fox and people like Mickie James. You know, how does it feel backstage knowing that you've got to follow names like that?
You try not to think about it backstage. Well, that's just me anyway. If I think about it too much, that's when I get inside my head and be like, oh no, I can't do it. I shouldn't be able to do it. So I just kind of fake it till I make it in confidence and just act like I belong, basically. And it seems to get you somewhere, so.
Excellent. And the Australian women's wrestling scene especially is booming right now. You're one of two primary champions around Australia that are women. What do you think the future of women's wrestling looks like in Australia? Is that going to be something that just is the norm?
Oh, I hope so. I think it is the norm. I think as long as we keep acting like it is the normal and it is just treated as the normal, then it's just going to be a very inclusive scene that will have no division and everyone can just wrestle whoever they want. Like, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
And with Ringmasters coming up, how are you feeling about defending that PWA title?
Pretty confident. Like, it's not like Sam Osborne's beaten me before or anything, like, for a title. Yeah, right? Yeah. So, no, I'm feeling pretty good. Have some backup plans just in case he gets dirty again.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time, Jess. See you soon.
Thank you.
Here with the Renegades of Wrestling Women's Champion, Aysha. How are you doing, Aysha?
I'm great.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
We had an excellent night last night at the Her Show here at Starrcast in Ballarat. How does it feel to be able to come out with a title on a show with so many international talents?
It's great. It's great that I get to represent Renegades. I'm defending it next week. Oh, look how pretty it is. So I've been holding that title for over a year, so I think being able to come out to the show with that title representing Renegades is awesome. Yeah.
Absolutely. And, you know, first class is such a lifestyle,
Yes.
you know. It's so obvious when you walk into the ring. Is there any intimidation when you've got kind of a big stream going on, a big show like that with huge names in attendance like Mickie James? How does that pressure build for you?
I mean, obviously, like, I grew up as a fan. Like, when I started watching wrestling, it was Mickie James, it was Victoria, and like Alicia Fox. Those are like people who I looked up to. But me as a performer, I trust in my abilities. I'm obviously confident. I'm first class. So yeah, like, as a fan, yes, super nervous, super excited, but like, I know I got it. You know?
And speaking of knowing you've got it, you said you're confident you're going to be retaining that Renegades Women's Championship, but didn't manage to pick up the win last night.
But I didn't get pinned.
Didn't get pinned, though. Didn't get
So
pinned.
I didn't really lose, okay?
And obviously, wrestling in both Renegades and MCW, you're one of the hottest women's acts in Victoria, pretty clearly. What do you think the future of women's wrestling in Victoria looks like?
I think it's just going to go up, especially after the show last night with her. I think that's definitely putting new eyes on us. Like, there's definitely a lot of people here that probably haven't even seen the women here, and now they know that we're fantastic, we're great, and I think it's just going to get up, and hopefully we get more opportunities like this to show everyone how good we are.
Fantastic. And look, Starrcast here in Ballarat has been a huge event. Have you gotten the chance to meet anyone that's been really exciting for you personally?
I mean, at the Her Show, I was backstage with all the women, so everyone I looked up to. Some of the men were here too, so yeah, just meet everyone. Came here before, Bret Hart just walked past. I had to pretend it was okay, but yeah, in my head I was like, oh, okay.
Awesome.
But yeah, it's cool. It's a great weekend.
What are you most looking forward to doing next?
Just keeping Renegades Wrestling Women's Champion. Just keep building up my name. Probably try to do more overseas travel. Just keep building from here because all I want to be is at the top.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Aysha, and we'll see you. We are here with the OPW Women's Champion, Erika Reid, who put on an awesome match last night with Lizzie Evo, defending that belt. How did that feel to get in the ring with an international like that?
Honestly, it was pretty cool, man. Like, Lizzie, she's a good worker, she's a good fighter. It was a good challenge. But yeah, I had a really good time. It was pretty fucking rad to be on a show with that many people and with the caliber of people that were on there. Like, there were so many legends on there that we got to vibe with and learn from, and yeah, it was pretty fucking awesome. But yeah, it was really nice beating Lizzie. It was very satisfying sitting on her face and pinning her for 3. And yeah, I felt proud, and it was cool to keep the championship.
Absolutely, and you know, we've seen
very pretty.
It is gorgeous. Tali coming in with the win for the #1 contendership. So obviously OPW's women's division is really strong now with the tag team championship.
Oh, so much fun. I love that match.
It's wicked.
Yeah, I really like the backside girls. They're cool as fuck.
And I'm obsessed with Paul Nakano, so obviously I flipped for that.
Obviously, bro.
Everyone is.
Obviously.
But what does it feel like to be kind of the head of the women's division for OPW and representing Australian women in that way?
It is honestly my greatest achievement so far. And I genuinely mean that with my whole heart. I do not take this responsibility lightly. Like, this is something that I've worked for my entire career. And to be honest, I've been doubted my whole entire life. And even when I started wrestling, most of the people doubted me. And now I'm being a role model. All I wanted to be was a role model. I didn't really fuck about a contract or anything like that. I just want to be a good role model. I want to have a place where women can come and wrestle and have a cool vibe. Tell some cool fucking stories. Have a fucking fun match. And do it in a nice environment where people actually give a fuck about the product that we're giving out. And it's super satisfying. And I hope that I make the girls feel comfortable, and I hope that everyone has a good time, because I genuinely mean that. I genuinely want women's wrestling and wrestling in general to have a fun vibe, because if it's not fun, it's pretty lame. Like, life
That's the
sucks.
whole point, isn't it?
So why are we making life harder for ourselves, you know? But it's a very cool responsibility, and I'm very proud to be the champion of OPW. And I'm very proud of the product that OPW gave last night with the Her Show. And I'm very proud that I get to represent the women, because I think the women are fucking deadly, because we are fucking deadly. And you can't change my mind. Everyone
Absolutely.
in that show last night was fucking deadly. Everyone.
And to build off that, we know you're busy, but one more question I really wanted to ask is, having all of these internationals around, and we had, you know, an American guy sitting next to us, you've got the American women backstage. What's it like to be able to represent your culture to all of these people who might not be familiar with these traditions at all?
I got the coolest story for you guys, bro.
Bring
okay,
it.
So, right, let me set the tone, okay? It was Thursday lunchtime, all right? Thursday lunchtime. This mob told me, we're doing a smoking ceremony. I'm like, brother, I'm there, right? I'm fucking keen. So we go down, it's in Ballarat, and Bret Hart, Gangrel, Victoria, Mickie James, Lizzie came, bless her. Like a bunch of the internationals came, and I was there, and I was, you know, ready. I was in my cape, I had my feathers, I had my paint on, and I was ready to fucking say g'day to my ancestors. And they came, and I got to show them, not me, I didn't do the smoking ceremony, it was an elder of the Wadawam country, and they did a fantastic job. They were doing the welcome and the smoking, and it was honestly one of the most coolest things in my life. Like, brother, in the 80s, right? In the 80s, if we was to do a smoking ceremony, I would have been arrested and they would have been arrested. The fact that I got to do a smoking ceremony with Bret Hart and Gangrel and Mickie James and Victoria and show them my culture that would have gotten me jail time for not that long ago, it's the coolest achievement. And I got to be champion, and I got to smoke my belt, and I got to bless my belt, and I got to show my culture what the achievement that I've done. So it was rewarding, and so that was the highlight for me, man. Like, I love wrestling, but to be honest, showing them that and getting them to experience that and getting them to explain to them why we do it, they loved it. Like, they had so much fun, and it was the coolest way to meet these people. That was my first interaction with them, was to show them my culture, and it was like, fuck yeah, man, this is what we're about. So yeah, it was rad.
Well, thank you so much for being here and chatting with us and representing Prehistoric Death Cult anywhere you are. So there we go.
Prehistoric Death Cult. Join the cult, all right? Join the cult.
Thank you so much, Erika. Have a good one.
Thank you, bro. Over, man.
Deathmatch Federation.
Right.
Can we just have a bit of quiet, please? Yeah, for sure. Thank you. Deathmatch FMW is seen as the first proper deathmatch wrestling federation. In what year did it kick off?
For the use of the phone.
Wait.
How dare you, sir? Johnny Threat's starting to get upset, and I like my limbs attached. So
Hey guys, I'm here with Big Reid. How are you, mate?
I'm good, mate.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
You here for the Starrcast?
Yeah, we're here. Yes, so we're Mayhem Pro and Relentless School of Pro Wrestling. We've partnered up with Starrcast and OPW for the weekend, so we're actually volunteers to help out the talent and also during the show. So the Her show, which is tonight, and then the Bret Hart Australian Stampede, which is tomorrow night, Saturday night, here in Ballarat. And they've also given us the opportunity to advertise our own stuff, advertise our school, and also advertise our own shows coming up.
That's awesome. We've reviewed some of the Mayhem Pro shows going through.
Yep.
And like I've always said, I love the fact that you guys were doing it mainly just to give your rookies somewhere to work and somewhere to get but it's sort of like grown.
It has. So originally when we started, JXT, Jake and I, we're like, we'll have our own little school. So those who aren't familiar with Melbourne, we're sort of far west Melbourne. We're probably the last suburb before it becomes country, Victoria. We were hoping that we'd have a couple of students and then we'd run our own little shows every now and again, and that'd sort of be it. But it has taken off. We started, I think originally we had about 8 to 10, and now we're pushing 40.
Yeah.
So it's taken off a lot more than we anticipated, and it's grown a lot more than we thought.
I love because like the original shows, you could tell it was just a lot of JXT's mates.
More or less.
But now, I can see that crowd sort of like going away.
Yeah.
But you brought in a whole actual crowd of fans to do it.
And that was the thing. So we actually, because JXT got injured, he pretty much had almost the whole year off.
Yeah.
So he got injured, I would say, 2022, and he was sort of in a limited role. And a lot of his mates wouldn't want to come to the shows and just watch him either.
Come out and talk.
Yeah, literally. So, which it did hit us pretty hard with regarding to crowd numbers.
Yeah.
Like I would say, probably 2022 was a little harder because at the start when we started, it was just out of COVID, so everyone had to pre-book tickets. So we would get crowds of about 300 people or right? Because we weren't allowed to have walk-ins at that time. And then after that sort of ended, we'd have decent crowds, but Josh got hurt. Oh, sorry, JXT got hurt. So then it was just, regular fans that would just come in and watch. And then we sort of, because we also run in Bacchus Marsh, which is country Victoria, we run in a country town. And the longer we've gone, the more I noticed that it's predominantly locals there. I don't see them any other places. Like I work for MCW and Renegades and Wrestle Rock, and and I've never seen a lot of those fans there. So and then I've been told to be fair, a lot of them didn't know there was other wrestling here. Which is it's cool, but I kind of want them to go everywhere.
Go all over the places. But still, you've created your own little community.
Yes.
Which you've been able to grow and grow more. And everyone that I've seen coming out of that school on those shows, because I'm sort of the more critical one on the show. Like everyone on them, like their fundamentals are really, really good. That's really a credit to you and to JXT and like just for the training. So, and I think I even messaged, because I know that for a while there with JXT, it was just like, dude, you did some dumb shit. And we talked about it on the show as well. Yeah. But like, just to see the way he's turned around and also turned around and really like established some awesome roots.
Yes.
In Queensland, especially up with Relentless and stuff. Yeah. Like hats off to you guys.
Oh, thank you. And I know, like, we used to get the flack, especially at the start, like, because again, JXT did do some silly things at one point, and he did burn some bridges. But I think again, it was a lot of look, when a lot of the things that happened, it was all it was predominantly done. Like he was, 20 years old or something. Like we were still young and dumb kids. So, and now that we've all sort of grown up and sort of understood what we're trying to do and who we're trying to sort of not necessarily appease, but what we're trying to do. Like realistically, we're both in our 30s now. Again, we're not super. I don't know why people keep thinking I'm really old. But like, I'm not old.
It's the beard. I get the same thing. It's not the grey.
So we're like, look, we just want to make wrestling where we live better.
Yeah.
And the fundamental element of it.
With Josh, like you can do it through your words, you know, some sort of work, but his actions, have been what's the biggest.
Exactly.
You
like,
know what I mean?
And that was another thing. Like with us, like for example, today.
No, like what you thought when you started the school?
No, not at all.
You'd be here today.
Well, and that's it. Like last year we helped with NWA, and Sid and I, Sid and Erika Reid are also part of our school, and they started training too. So we got an opportunity with NWA. Sid and I had a match there, and then we've also had things with New Japan Tamashii, and which we're still helping out with, so things have just started coming along almost unintentionally. Like people have started hitting us up for help or whatever,
which means your reputation's getting out there.
And I get
that they can stand by.
And a lot of it I didn't even mean. I was just like, I thought most people would just kind of leave me alone, but no, which isn't a bad thing. It's actually a really good thing, because even though a lot of the times our students won't probably work these shows tomorrow, but it's still a good indication. Like we also help out with MCW, especially like the logistical side with the ring and stuff like that. But just when they're actually on at the shows and seeing, because there is a big difference between a Mayhem show and an MCW show. Like you've seen my shows, they're very they're a little bit raw. Yeah. There's not the production quality isn't probably, it's not the best.
So that's what I kind of like about it though.
And that's what I like about it too. For one, it makes it easier for me. But also, I kind of wanted, I guess, the wrestling element of it all to sort of show through. And not saying that everywhere else it doesn't, but I think I know what I can do and I know what I can't do. And
that's the smartest work. That's a smart worker though. Like, if you know you can't do stuff, don't go out over your skis.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't want to spend exuberant amounts of money to get a bunch of production stuff that I don't know how to handle, to then have to possibly hire a team, which again, and ultimately, if I'm not making money, then I can't justify doing it.
Exactly.
Right? And I understand a lot of people do this out of love, and I do it too, but also we all have, especially today's day and age, we all have bills to pay.
Yeah.
And I can't justify, spending exuberant amounts of money for potentially little to no reward.
Yeah.
So when it comes, but then like there's other promotions who have that budget and then also have the skill and talent to pull it off really well. Like you look at, again, MCW is a very good example. They have a great production. They know what they're doing. Everything's on cue. It looks fantastic.
But also they've had like 20 years to build that up.
Yeah, exactly. And like, but even other, like, in PCW and Renegades, they all have very great reproduction stuff. And but I like having my students there to be a part of it, just to see what it is like, and just see what what wrestling in this country, especially in our state, is, can be, and sort of almost should be to a degree. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
well, you're doing a great job.
Thank you very much.
For those at home that don't know how to follow you, and I don't know how you have them because we've talked about them a lot.
Yep.
How can they follow you guys on, especially if you're in Victoria and you want to learn pro wrestling?
So
this is a great place to go.
Relentless School of Pro Wrestling. We're on Instagram and
look at that.
Facebook. Yep.
He's not so good at segues as well as he's good at that.
And also Mayhem Pro, Instagram, Facebook, and X.
Yeah.
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 And also, if you are local or looking to train with us, follow iamrelentless.com.au, and we have prompts and that you can follow to join our school. And we're also open to any wrestler from Australia if they want to come down and train with us. You're more than welcome to. We've had a bunch of people from different states come down. We've had people from, Sydney and Queensland, and we've also had people from the Northern Territory.
Top End Wrestling.
Yeah. So, again, we're welcome. We're open to everyone.
Yeah. That's what I love. I love schools like you guys are like that. Like I know EPW are like that. I know Riot City are like that. Wrestle Rampage like that. It's so good to see that there's that community where it's not a close door. If you're in town.
Yeah, exactly. Come down. If you want to have a roll around and
you never know what you could learn off them.
Well, exactly, and that's another thing. And I always say, there's things that I tell people all the time. There's some things I don't know.
Well, they can show you a different way of getting into something. Yeah.
We've had students that are like, I want to learn the Japanese style of wrestling. I don't know how to do that.
Good on you.
Yeah, cool, man. I don't know how to do that, but I know, I know the Wrestle Rampage Dojo has a very big Japanese influence. So maybe that's if they're open to going to Adelaide. I know EPW is very much the same. Damien Slater, he has a very big Japanese influence. I know David Storm does too, so they can go to EPW too. We've had students go down to the EPW.
I like that too, that you encourage them to do that.
Yeah, I encourage people. I don't want, I'm not a closed thing. I want my students, and
I've always said the more tools you can add to your toolbox, the better tradesman you'll be at the end of the day.
Well, exactly. Work as many shows as you can, go to as many schools as you can, go to as many seminars as you can, travel as much as you can. Ultimately, ultimately, and then the more tools you can have, the more boxes you can tick next to your name, the better it is for you. And it's also not just for you, but it betters everyone else around you.
Oh, mate, well, we've probably taken up way too much of your time.
No, not at all.
Big Reid, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. I'm glad.
Make chicken salad out of chicken shit. People is as people does, that's all there is to it. Put a square peg in a round hole, just never seems to fit. And you can't make chicken salad out of chicken shit.